Morning guys, Moon here. Today I want to talk about farming stack decks and what you need for it, but before we do so, let's just dive into a map and I'll show how it's done. The base of the idea is to get as much pack size as possible, to then farm with the stack deck scarab, stack decks. Also, we are getting rituals on the map, so that the first time these mobs are gathered in a ritual, they can drop more stacked decks. Also, what I have incorporated into my version of this farm is a lot of Eldritch Ether chance and pack size, so that we are farming even more Ether also. Because I do kinda like Ether, and what people have done with the farm is stack even more pack size than I have done and go with explicit modifiers and stuff like that. But I personally, I'm not sure if it's worth it, because you don't really get a lot out of pack size in these maps. I'm out of explicit modifier, pack size is just worth more. And generally it is worth more to do the maps faster over doing like higher juiced maps, because you just want to get them done as fast as possible. And for that you do want kinda easy maps. Also, due to the high amount of pack size we are gaining from playing with Fortune Favors pack size idols, which I will show in a second, you kinda already have a lot of pack size, so in the end you aren't really gaining a lot of explicit modifier aside from some pack size and a lot of difficulty, which would also disable quite a few map mods for me, because not gain flash charges would be a dead mod then, chance to avoid ailments would be a dead mod then, cooldown would be a dead mod. And with my current variation of the build and of the farming strategy, I can run all map mods. So all what I have to do is to alch an entire tab of toxic sewer maps and then run them down. The most important thing in this strat really is to be quick, to just do a lot of maps, because they are very, very low entry from the cost point of view, and you don't really need to invest a lot into them. Just reroll the ritual once and then get out. And that's pretty much all you do. The entire strat is depending on how fast you can do these maps. On the Ether altars, you do pretty much gamble for the chance to gain the Divine Shrine and to get currency duplication, because that dex is a form of currency, which we now have nearly 10,000 of, which I farmed in, well, the last 2 days. And that's pretty much everything you're aiming for. For the ritual setup, I have went with pack size for Fortune Favors, and then either ritual faster spawn or increased chance to find Eater of Worlds altars. As you can see, these mods are far from perfect. Faster spawn goes from 15 to 20. I aimed for 17 plus. And the pack size goes from 5 to 10. I aimed for 8 or 9 on most of these. I did have a couple of 10 around, so I did use those. But generally I did aim for 8, because those were the cheapest by far. Then we have a couple of minor slots which we don't have a lot of use for. So I just added some tier higher map drops to, well, have better sustain. And then added singular focus for even better sustain, and I just don't need more maps or more other maps, so we just went with the currency. Eldritch Gaze to make Ether Altar stronger, and Trade Embargo because I just don't like addition. Generally you don't have a lot of use for this, so just use whatever you want. There isn't really a lot of good mods here, so that's it pretty much. For the Conqueror idol, you do want to always have 4 rituals, and I did add pack size for Ether and pack size in general. This is a very strong 3 stat idol. You don't really need as much. If you want to go even further, you could add explicit effect, but it generally isn't really good on the Conquerors because we don't really roll our maps very hard. All I do is just arc them and then run them with whatever they do have because I don't care. Every single chaos we are throwing on these maps would reduce the outcome we are getting out of these maps. So rolling your maps isn't really worth in the strat. So you try to have a build that just can run as many mods as possible. Also, you're over-sustaining your map, so you can, in the end, sell a few toxic sewers. A lot of the profit does come from stacked decks. Out of the ritual, every now and then you're getting something like a divine or something, and then you're getting a lot of Eldritch currency, and then sometimes something special, but generally it's very consistent profit from stacked decks. You're getting around 15,000 gold out of every map with a gold flask, and yeah, it's just very consistent, very strong. All you need is a build with a lot of clear speed and a fuck ton of divination scarabs. These are very cheap. I bought these for 2 per chaos. So every map costs me the map and 2.5 chaos of scarabs. That's it. So this is pretty much everything I want to talk about. I did create an fire burst auto bomber for this. If you have more questions about the build, feel free to ask. If there's a lot of interest, I will make an overview of the character, but generally I just want to show this strategy because it's been one that has been widely suggested or requested, and I thought I'd cover it here. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.